But let's get a move on and focus in on Apollo hospitals as well. It's been a steady Q4. And what is the sense that we're getting in the non-COVID business, the healthcare as well in a post-COVID world? Suneeta Reddy, the Managing Director at Apollo Hospitals Group, now joins in to discuss that and lots more. Thank you so much and a pleasure having you on ET now. To begin with, walk us through your margins for the quarter gone by, because they have expanded for many a quarter, this one being no exception. Where do you see your margins going forward?
In terms of surprise, I hope it's a good surprise. But yes, we've been very focused on improving margins. In spite of the fact that this was a COVID year, when revenues top line grew to 2,868 crores, it actually degrew by 2%. However, we had an EBITDA margin of 417 crores, representing an 8% growth. And the reason for this is clearly, our occupancy in the last quarter was at 63%. And if you look at the payer mix, we have more insurance companies and cash rather than many of the state government schemes. So definitely our RPOB has moved up to 41,000 from 38,000. And added to this is a significant cost saving of 350 crores for the full year. So the impact of this has led to an EBITDA margin of 24% for the mature hospitals, 17% for the new hospitals, and a blended 21.2% EBITDA margin for the healthcare services. Pharmacy also grew. It landed a revenue of 1,110 crores with a 7% EBITDA margin. So clearly we have been focusing on cost saving. We have been focusing on growing volumes and asset utilization.
Okay. And what about utilization? How has that been in Q1 and how has COVID really impacted your utilization levels?
So if you look at Q1, I think that we've been very clever in the way we've repurposed the healthcare system. This time we've not had to suffer a severe lockdown. So we had COVID
You've often talked about strategic investors and that you're in talks with them. What's the outcome on that front?
So in preparation for getting a strategic investor and a pool of strategic capital into the pharmacy company, we have actually now, the board has decided to proceed with the slump sale of the 100% subsidy and make it a 100% subsidiary of AHEL. By doing so, the economic interest of the AHEL shareholders will be fully protected, and the new company, Apollo Health Co. Limited, will definitely get, we have strategic investor interest, and I think the stakeholders of AHEL will benefit. This is the first omni-channel healthcare play in this country and by far the largest. So 24/7 already has over 7 million users. It has the largest telemedicine capability and is already doing 5,000 consults a day. But beyond that, we also have the fact that it's backed by a healthcare company which has 71 hospitals, 10,000 beds. We have diagnostic capabilities, the ability to do diagnostic tests where, throughout the country, we have mapped PIN codes all of India for the pharmacy. And with this, the delivery, the online pharmacy guarantees delivery within 2 hours of placing the order. So by far, I think, we do have the best omni-channel healthcare play in the country today, and by far the largest.
Okay, so help us understand a little bit more about this omni-channel they're going to use for fundraising.
So if I were to explain the transaction to you, it's clearly, right now what we're doing is that it is quite a transformational journey in the sense that we're moving the back end of the pharmacy which was currently in AHEL, in 100% slump sale. It becomes a subsidiary of AHEL, but the economic interest of the AHEL shareholders is not compromised. In fact, it will attract new pools of capital, and that to strategic capital, which means existing shareholders of AHEL will be able to capture that value. It is a 100% subsidiary.
Okay, going forward, what is the outlook when it comes for the vaccination for all program in the country? How big an opportunity is that for Apollo?
So we've already finished 2.3 million vaccines. We are looking at we're looking at 10 million vaccinations for this year, 10 to 15 million vaccinations. In fact, we've also got the Sputnik and have started in a small way to use the Sputnik vaccine. Having said that, the adult vaccination program and the child vaccination program is something that Apollo had for a long time. And now we're just handling it on a much larger scale where we take it across India. We take it into the corporates. We do off-site vaccinations. So it has become a very large place where Apollo has maintained leadership. In fact, we've done 45% of the private vaccinations that have happened in this country.
And finally, do you expect the non-COVID business to pick up as COVID cases now seem to be declining?
Yes, certainly it will pick up like it did. I think our fourth quarter results are a reflection of how it picks up post-COVID.